So we're back reading the next part of Grace and the Family. We'll just do a quick recap and think about the question I asked you. So we know that Grace is a little girl. She lives in England with her mum, her cat, and her nana. And her daddy is in Africa. He's got another family in Africa now, but he sent them money to give Grace and her nan the chance to go and see them in Africa during the Easter holidays. So they go to Africa, and Grace is dreaming of a fairy tale father because she loves to read stories. And she gets to Africa, and as soon as she is held by her dad, she recognises him. Then she starts to notice that things are quite different in Africa, and there are people selling watermelons along the street, and there are little animals roaming the streets. And then she got to her dad's compound, and she met her stepmother Jatu, her little brother. His name was I lost his name. Let me have a look. His name was Bakary, and her little sister Nana. Bakary and Nana. And then Grace started to get cross because she thought that the family were fine on their own. They were a fairy tale family without her, and that the youngest, who is Bakary, is the one that's going to be liked the most because that's what happens in stories. She told them lots of stories but left out all the ones about wicked stepmothers, so maybe she's changed her mind about Jatu, but she still refused to eat it at dinner. So let's find out what happens next. Let's move the post in there. When Papa came home from work, he found Grace in the backyard. He sat beside her under the big jackfruit tree. "This is where my grandma used to tell me stories when I was a little boy," he said. "Nana tells me stories too," said Grace. "Did she ever tell you the one about how your ma and I came to split up?" asked Papa. "I know that one," said Grace, "but I don't want to hear it right now," and she covered up her ears. Papa hugged her. "Would you like the one about the papa who loved his little girl so much he saved up all his money to bring her to visit him?" "Yes, I'd like that one very much," said Grace. "Okay, but if I tell you that story, will you promise to be nice to Jatu? You're both very important to me," said Papa. Grace thought about it. "I'll try," she said. So Papa can obviously see that Grace is not being very nice to Jatu at the minute, and both Grace and Jatu are important to him, so he wants them to get along. Next day they went to the food market. It was much more exciting than shopping at home. Even the money had crocodiles on it. Lots of the women carried the shopping on their heads. You see these ladies carrying the shopping on their heads. Then they went to a stall which was like stepping into a rainbow. There was cloth with crocodiles and elephants on it, and cloth with patterns made from pebbles and shells, and so many colours. "We can choose a cloth for Grace's first African dress," said Papa. Grace and Nana spent a long time choosing. No one was in a hurry. Got all those beautiful materials. I think I might choose the green one with the elephants on. Or maybe even this really colourful one over Grace's shoulder. That's the sort of cloth I would like. I wonder what cloth you would choose from that picture. All those different bright colours. The days of Grace's visit flew by. She played in the ocean with her brother and sister, and she told them a bedtime story every night. She told all the stories she knew. Beauty and the Beast, Rapunzel, Rumpelstiltskin. It was amazing how many stories were about fathers who gave their daughters away, but she didn't tell any about wicked stepmothers. So sometimes Ma rang up from home, and then Grace felt strange. "I feel like gum stretched out all thin in a bubble," she told Nana, "and if there isn't enough of me to go around, I can't manage 2 families. What if I burst?" "Families are what you make them," said Nana. "A family with you in it is your family." I think that's a very special line. Everybody's families look different, and as long as you are in it, that is your family. So I'd like you to have a think. Talk to your families about what your family looks like. and have a go at drawing your family on your whiteboard with your whiteboard pen. And then you could have a comment in the box below on the blog, couldn't you, and tell us all about your families. If you have a look on the blog, I'll tell you exactly what my family looks like. It's very, very big. See you tomorrow.